3.
Peace. Back again for part 2. And we just finished covering the Nazareth Caterman of Upper Kemet, Upper Egypt as they call it. And now we're going to go to an area called Naphtha. Naphtha is an internally drained basin that served as an important ceremonial center for nomadic tribes during the early part of the Paleocene epoch, located 100 kilometers west of Abu Simbel in southern Egypt. Naphtha contains a number of standing toppled megaliths. They include flat tomb-like stone structures and a small stone circle that predates Stonehenge and other similar prehistoric sites by at least 1,000 years. The site was first discovered in 1974 by a group of scientists headed by Fred Wendorf, an anthropology professor from Southern Methodist University in Texas. The team had stopped for a break from their uncomfortable drive from Libya borderline the Nile Valley when Wendorf stated, "We were standing there minding our own business when we noticed potherds and other artifacts." Throughout the 1970s and 80s, Wendorf returned to Naphtha several times. He determined that humans had occupied the Naphtha area off for thousands of years, dating as early as 11,000 years ago, upon until about 4,800 years ago. Although the area was occupied for more than 5,000 years, the majority of the stone structures and other artifacts originated between 7,000 and 6,500 years ago. It was considered by most to be the height of human occupation at Naphtha. Naphtha became a habitable area because of the climatic change that occurred over North Africa. Now this is very important. The climatic change that occurred in North Africa 12,000 years ago. Okay, 12,000 years ago, which would take us to about 10,000 BC. This climatic change was caused by a northward shift of the summer monsoons. This shift brought enough rain to Naphtha region to enable it to sustain life for both humans and animals. Although it was a small amount of rain, usually around 4 to 8 inches, it was enough to fill playas with water for months at a time. Between 11,000 and 9,300 years ago, Naphtha saw the first settlements of people living at Naphtha, herded cattle and made ceremonial vessels and set up seasonal camps around Naphtha Playa. Now, understand that around 12,000 years ago, according to anthropologists, there was a major climatic changes that had taken place on Earth. One was the last ice age that had taken place that made major areas uninhabitable because there was a major rain and a flood that had taken place. And then with the change of climate, the floods turned into ice and areas became inhabitable. Now, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you the megaliths. The megaliths here. The ancient people of the Nile migrated to Kemet, bringing the same Osirian-Orion focus. So we see prevalent in Kemet to this day. If you look at the megaliths, it becomes seriously obvious that we have the same science that was later brought to the area today known as Egypt. The Kemets marked the precession, which took place every 26,000 years.
Flip the book. Let me see the pictures.
I'll tell you one. More precisely, every 25,920 years. What I want you to do is come over to this side and videotape this right here. This is the precession, ladies and gentlemen. What happens is that the Earth moves on its axis of 23.5 degrees as the Earth spins at the same time. The time that it takes for this circle to go around the 12 signs of the zodiac, or the 12 celestial houses, is about 25,000 years, 25,920 years to be exact. And this is called a precession. This is going to be very important in a few minutes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show some images here of the Nata Playa area. Before sunrise, if you stand at the meridian side line looking south, you see in the sky there's 3 stars of Orion's belt. What I'm going to do, let's get a video of this right here. These are the megaliths right here of the Nata Playa area. And you can see them pointing directly to the Orion star constellation. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is read this here. If you look at the corner of the stone, they match Orion's maximum tilt, and they match it at 16,600 BC. That means that you have to take a computer. There's a computer program that NASA uses. Anthropologists are using it today to date, and basically you can take the way the solar system looks today and reverse it year by year by year by year by year to see what it would look like 10,500 years ago, 11,000 years ago. And the matches of these Stonehenges, these ancient Stonehenges, to the Orion star constellation, one of the first matches is at 16,600 BC. So either the civilization in Kemet at this time existed in 16,600 BC, or the civilizations that existed in Kemet during the contemporary time of Egypt knew exactly how the stars were positioned at 16,600 BC. Okay? They also marked what's called the vernal equinox. And I want to show this in a moment. The vernal equinox elliptical rising. On the first day of spring, a star rises together over the horizon with the sun. Each one of the lines lines upward with the star date. I'm going to show how this works here. Here is the Orion star constellation. In 8,450 BC, it lines up with the star Alnitak. Okay, now over here, star Alnilam, it lines up directly. Here's the sun coming over the horizon, and it lines up directly with Alnilam. And over here, 8,050 BC, it lines up directly with Mintaka. Now I'm going to show the calculations of how we got to this. Oh, in star 4, Ballatrax, in 5,310 BC. So this Nata Playa area had these megaliths. Here's star 5, Betelgeuse, at 5,820 BC. These are all lining up. When you take that program and reverse it, star 6, 5,200 BC. So basically there would be star 6, there's the sun, boom, it lines up perfectly. There's the megalith, and there it is lining up right there. The interesting thing about this, is that it's not only lining up with the stars, it's actually giving the distance. The distance between where the megalith is and the star is actually calculated here.
1 minute.
1 minute. We're going to continue this on part 3. We're going to get to the distance. Peace. Pharaoh out. See me on part 3. Peace.